Jordan Moore, Sean Cody, and Markese Stepp now. And those two plays have my partner here, broadcast partner, all fired up, man. You were juiced well, I'll let you get it started with Markese since he was your man crush on Saturday.
It reminded me, Markese. I used to play back in the day against a man named Steven Jackson, running back from Oregon State. And I remember a defensive tackle, a young Sean Cody, jumping on the back of Steven Jackson, him carrying me for 5 or 6 yards. That too reminded me watching you carry Notre Dame defenders the other day, man. What was it like to carry those guys around in your home state there, bud?
It felt great being back home, playing in front of a lot of family. Meant a lot to me. Got some cousins there that I usually can't get to the games. So it was just great. It was a great environment.
Was that as hyped as you've ever been for a game? Did you have to control your emotions a little bit?
Yeah, a little bit. When we were going into halftime, things got kind of carried away. I was a little juiced. But, yeah, the emotions were high, and I think that's why I played so well.
Did you trash talk those guys when you're carrying them, and after play you get up? Do you give them a little trash talk, or are you just back to the huddle? What kind of player are you?
Yeah, I do a little trash talk.
You give them a little bit, or
yeah, I do like a little bit of trash talk.
I think Steven Jackson told me, yeah, get up, Rook.
Yeah, they do some trash talking too. So you got to return the favor sometimes.
Yeah, he's mentioned Steven Jackson, which is way before your time. But, when you are a big back, everyone sort of compares you to big backs, right? I mean, hey, at Notre Dame, if you'd gone to Notre Dame, they would have been talking about Jerome Bettis every time you ran the ball. So who did you sort of grow up looking at as a bigger back and model your game after?
I really watched a lot of Adrian Peterson. He runs very violently, and that's something that I try to do because that was my favorite running back growing up. And so when you're watching that, and then probably some of the high school football players I grew up watching. I remember this guy named Geno Gillum before my time at Cathedral, and I remember going to the games, and he was small, but he ran so hard. And it was fun to watch. So that's how I kind of try to model my game after.
Sean, you played against Adrian Peterson too.
I did play against Adrian Peterson. Some pretty good backs I played against.
Yeah.
He didn't drag me quite as far as Steven Jackson did.
But you said the same thing about the violent running when we were talking about it on Saturday.
Yeah, violent runners are always you don't want to go against a guy that just doesn't want to go down. I think that was the hardest thing as a defender, just going against somebody. And you remind me of that when you run and you put that hand down there today and got another 5 yards. Talk about what it means to get that extra couple yards for your team when you're battling in there.
Just finishing your runs, I think all three of the running backs don't want to go down, so we run as hard as we can. And for me personally, it's just just don't go down, basically. I think it's as simple as that, and just play hard.
Where does the upper body strength come in the most? Where does the lower body strength come in the most as a guy who's trying to run over people and carry people?
I feel like the lower body comes in when, say if somebody's trying to come and tackle you, you kind of got to lower the shoulder and dig. So I think that's where the legs come in. And then when somebody's trying to get you up top, being able to throw them off or something like that, that's when the upper body strength comes in.
We're giving you a lot of praise, and you had a great game. But what needs work in your game? What do you think that you need to work on moving forward? Obviously, you lose a guy like Vi for a couple of weeks. You're going to be in there. What does seem Coach Jinks has been working with you?
I think personally what I need to work on in my game is continuing to improve route running and catching out the backfield. But I think where I need to improve the most is making people miss in open field. I broke one my first carry. Got to try to make a move and make a miss instead of just trying to run over everybody, because I can take a lot of hits and that could prolong my career if I can make a miss instead of trying to run over them. So that's definitely something I've been.
Let's make that the changeup. I like that can be the changeup to his fastball. I want fastball, right. fastball, every eighth pitch changeup. Then you can go a little shape.
Right.
But I want a lot of fastballs, Markese.
Right.
Coach Jinks seems like a cool guy. What's he been like to work with, your new running backs coach?
Man, he's great. He's taught me some things that I don't think I would have learned without him. He knows football. He's a genius. Listening to him has definitely helped me develop to the running back that I want to be and the running back that I want to continue to be. So I'm going to keep on listening to him.
Obviously, running back is kind of a rhythm position. You get going and get some more carries. What are some of the plays you prefer going into the game? You want to go east-west? Are you a north-south guy? Do you want to be in the pistol? Do you want to be offset? What kind of stuff do you like when you're in that backfield?
Honestly, I think wherever you lined up, you can make it. If the play's designed east-west, you can make it north-south, depending if the gap is there. But if it's not, you gotta go east-west. But for me, I'd like to get going vertical as fast as I can. Because that's more yards, and that sets up the team for a better situation.
Even when you're offset a little bit, is it harder to get going when you're in an offset position as opposed to the pistol?
Oh, most definitely. It's a harder cut. the pistol is a lot easier because you're already coming downhill. It's just one cut. But when you're on the side going sideways, it's harder because you kind of like really got to turn your whole body and get going forward.
You wear that number 30. A lot of guys wear the numbers for different reasons, and yours is a pretty interesting story. So I want to give you the opportunity to tell it.
I wear number 30 for this kid named Brody Stevens that I was fortunate enough to build a bond with my junior year of high school. That's something that keeps me going. When I put it on, I try to wear it with great honor and play as hard as I can. When you see a kid that was battling with cancer and beat it both times, that just makes you go harder. That makes you not want to complain about anything. So that's my motivation right there.
Yeah, that was an awesome story to see. Got a homecoming game coming up here. Were you the homecoming king at all?
Oh, no.
No, yeah.
Hey, they never picked like any of the football players, I don't think. I don't know why.
Bias.
And I wish I was. I don't even think I really put out a fire with it because I knew they weren't going to pick anybody.
Go ahead.
That was your question? Were you ever the homecoming king?
I want to know. I mean, he's a
I thought there was
big
a follow-up.
handsome guy. I would have voted for him, man. He's a big,
He probably
good-looking
ran
guy.
for 250 in the homecoming game, if that helps.
Probably.
They didn't pull you out at halftime to bring you on the court, man. What the heck? I'm a little mad about that.
All right, well, he's going to try to run for 200 in the homecoming game this Saturday.